You are flesh, blood, and bone beings, but you are more vibration than anything else. And the vibration of your being is your point of attraction. It is the signal that is always being answered. So as you make a statement and really mean it, I'm going to do my best to feel as good as I can from where I am right now. That statement is fabulous. That statement is good enough, because what you're saying is, I'm going to reach for the best feeling thought I can find. And if you reach from depression and you find a thought of anger, have you ever done that? Have you ever been so depressed or in such despair that anger actually felt like a relief to you? It always would, because the vibrational properties of anger are much more allowing of connection than the vibrational properties of despair. You know why that is? Because all of these emotions, no matter what you call them, all the way from despair to passion or joy, they are all about your sense of freedom and well-being. In other words, up here in the joy range, you feel self-empowered. There is empowerment there. Down there in the despair range, you feel powerless. Don't you find that interesting, that your emotional guidance system is based upon who you really are? That you are these powerful, clear-minded, free beings. You are so free that you can choose bondage. You are free to choose, free to focus, free to offer vibrations, free to attract. Sometimes people will see you as you've moved naturally into anger, and they will say to you, your anger is inappropriate. And we would like you to say to them, maybe so, but I'm happy here. This is my happy zone. I cannot reach the bliss that you have reached right now. This is as good as it gets for me, and it feels so much better than where I've been that I'm going to stay here for a while. So if it's unpleasant to you, I suggest you stay clear of me for a while. Do not worry, say to them, I don't plan on staying here very long, because I have this new mantra that says I'm going to continue to reach for the best feeling thought I can find, the best feeling thought I can find, the best feeling thought I can find. So I don't anticipate that I'm going to stay here forever, but for now this is the best feeling thought I can find. I'm working on something in the area of frustration and overwhelmment, but right now this is the best feeling thought I can find. And here is the important thing about this. If you have reached for the angry thought deliberately and have found it, and you can consciously acknowledge that it feels better than where you have been, now you have regained your power, which was what the whole negative emotion thing was about to begin with. That's why once you make that first step into something where you have consciously acknowledged that you're back in control, you can move quickly up the emotional scale. But until you acknowledge that you've done it on purpose and that you have affected the change, then you feel powerless. Then it feels like karma did it to you. Then it feels like your powerful mother did it to you. Then it feels like the government did it to you, or the economy did it to you, or a past life did it to you. You are very creative in all of the ways you explain why things aren't going better. But you never feel good until you acknowledge that you have creative control. The key to this moving up the emotional scale, in fact, it's such a wonderful exercise that we call it moving up the emotional scale. The key to it is reaching for the feeling of relief. There is allowing and there is resisting. And in leaving resistance behind, you find allowing. But the physical, visceral sensation of leaving resistance behind is a feeling of relief. So every time you feel just a little bit better, you have left behind a little bit of resistance. And every time you leave just a little bit of resistance behind, you are allowing more of the things that you've been asking for. So all of those things that have been held in vibrational escrow for you, we're not kidding you. Every time you've been in a situation where contrast has caused you to offer a preference, even if you didn't know you were offering the preference, you didn't speak about it, or you didn't write it down, you didn't say, I have a goal. Every time contrast produced preference within you, it preceded you vibrationally. And non-physical energy, non-physical beings like Abraham, like your inner beings, non-physical beings focused upon the rocket that you launched and are imagining it coming to fruition for you. So there is a pre-paving energy vortex that extends out before you, and it is full of all of the things that you want. Vibrational escrow. just waiting for you to achieve vibrational alignment, and then it flows in. Good. Now you know everything that is important about creating your own experience. You know you do. You know no one else does. You know you can guide it in the way you want it to be. You know that your emotions let you know how you're doing. You know that you can't get it wrong. You know that you never get it done. This is sort of the way you felt when you decided to come forth into this physical body. You could say that you have experienced a sort of rebirthing with this knowledge. And we don't think that you'll have any trouble at all remembering it. Don't be hard on yourself if you don't practice it constantly. Just do your best to feel your best wherever you are standing and watch all of the magnificent things that begin to flow into your experience. Experiences, relationships, conversations, ideas, clarification, manifestations, physical objects, other co-creative people, new ideas, but most of all, feel the feeling of life pulsing through you in the way you intended it to be. You didn't come forth to create stuff. You came forth to feel good. And sometimes, in the wanting of stuff that you can't quite achieve, you don't feel good, and then you shoot yourself in the foot. Make sense?